But part of that has played a role in obviously Tesla stocks, alongside, Elon Musk being so closely associated with this administration, an administration that is actively undermining electric vehicles' future in this country, has caused Tesla stocks to plummet. And that was ongoing. I don't know if they live streamed it or not, but he sat in front of a Tesla to defend Tesla stocks. Like he personally was trying to bring up Tesla stocks. Like, we are so far removed from normalcy at this point. It is kind of crazy. Like having a US president single out his favorite billionaire that gave him $100 million and just being like, his stock prices are getting pummeled. Let me tell you, this is a good car. You got to buy it. You Americans have to buy it. I'm the American president telling you, you have to buy it. Like, that is insane. That is an insane thing that's going on. I know we've like completely lost the plot on the Hatch Act, that's woke and gay, of course. But like, this is kind of crazy. I mean, am I wrong? Am I insane? Am I the insane one? Yeah, he said the Tesla boycott is illegal. He's like, you can't do a BDS on Israel and you can't do it on Tesla. President Trump says he's going to buy a brand new Tesla tomorrow as a show of support amid the left-wing boycott. I mean, this is incredibly desperate. Will it work? Probably not. Why is he even doing it? Like, what? Oh, he's a dumbass. He effectively treating the United States like his business, and we haven't seen his track record. Yeah, I mean, it's illegal not to buy a Tesla. Every American must buy one. If you die in a Tesla, we will honor you. We will put your name on a board. Every American baby needs a Tesla. What is going on? I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. How can anybody look at this and go, that's right, he's my base president, dude?
Hello, President Trump. Are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy. And I'm going to buy because, number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets. And number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life to doing this. And I think he's been treated very unfairly by a very small group of people. And I just want people to know that you can't be penalized for being a patriot. And he's a great patriot.
Dude, this is so embarrassing.
And he's also done an incredible job with Tesla. And I mean, nobody else has a car company started up in the last 30 years that's been successful. I don't think so. And not only successful, but super successful. And because he's able to find billions and billions and billions of dollars of fraud and waste and all of the things. I mean, our country is going to be very strong very soon because of a lot of the things that he's done and a lot of the things that I'm doing. And there's no better team, but there's no better for what we're doing. There's nobody like this, and he shouldn't be penalized. And when I watched the other day, I said, I can't believe it. It should be the opposite. People should be going wild, and they love the product, but because he's finding all sorts of terrible things that have taken place against our country, they want to penalize him in an economic sense. And I just think that's very unfair. So I just wanted to make a statement. I'm going to buy one. Now, here's the bad news. I'm not allowed to drive because I haven't driven a car in a long time, and I love to drive cars. But I'm going to have it at the White House, and I'm going to let my staff use it. I'm going to let people at the place use it. And they all are all excited about that. I'm not.
Donald Trump Donald Trump has been actively undermining electric vehicles, ruining the possible grid of the electricity grid that is a necessity for Americans to confidently use electric vehicles. And he's now turning around and being like, but Teslas are good. It's very good. It's like you can't on the one hand destroy EVs across the board. And then also on the other hand, like this, Trump is trying to halt EV charger build out. Experts say it's not that easy. This is from February 7th. Like, he has gone against not just Tesla, but like all electric vehicles unconditionally as a EV owner. Okay. I'm frustrated by this, but part of that has played a role in obviously Tesla stocks, alongside, Elon Musk being so closely associated with this administration, an administration that is actively undermining electric vehicles' future in this country, has caused Tesla stocks to plummet, right? So now he's trying to fix the situation just for Tesla. Just for Tesla, nobody else. You know, Teslas are so good. And yeah, he says, Trump says he will label violence against Tesla dealerships as a form of domestic. He's like, if you draw a penis on a Cybertruck, you're going to jail. You're doing hurt Israel's feelings. Draw a penis, hurt a Tesla owner's feelings. It's kind of funny because, like, while there is central planning in China, and obviously they've played an active role, the government has played an active role in heavily subsidizing EV production and flooding the European and global markets with affordable Chinese electric vehicles. I don't even think the Chinese government would be like, if you were to say that BYD is bad, we are going to you. Like, the country, not necessarily known for free speech protections, probably wouldn't go, oh yeah, if you had any criticisms against BYD, you're going to Chinese jail. Amazing stuff coming.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
Wow. Everything's computer. I love it. It's computer. So much computer.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Wow. Nah, I think Tesla, like, confidence in Tesla is at an all-time low. Confidence in Elon is at an all-time low, which is why confidence in Tesla is at an all-time low. And I think Donald Trump associating himself this openly with Tesla is probably going to piss people off, especially because his fan base have actively shit on electric vehicles. Donald Trump has actively shit on electric vehicles. Like, Trump supporters are not necessarily big electric vehicle fans. They think it's gay, it's woke, it's lib shit. Yesterday, Tesla stocks were at its lowest point, as in it had dropped so much that it was at the same point it was in 2020. Tesla stocks had gotten down to a point where if you had purchased Tesla stock in 2020, you had the same, like, this was your Tesla stocks was worth the same as they were in 2020. Now, it's unfortunately up 5% today. Yeah, I mean, when the president comes out and actively promotes Teslas, I'm sure it'll go up a little bit. But having said that, I think people's anger and resentment towards Teslas being branded as the swastika mobile is probably going to continue.
Yeah, it's just a brake and an accelerator. I don't want to give Secret Service a heart attack.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Please buy more Teslas.
Good night.
Oh, it's so do you want to actually drive it?
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
I saw Biden do a.
I'll tell you, it could be.
Once in the Jeep.
Yeah,
Very easy to drive.
That's you're the only one that saw it.
So it's like driving a golf cart, basically.
Very simple.
It's very simple. So it's literally like a golf cart that goes really fast. There's no gears.
This is really amazing. It's really amazing. Let's take a look at a couple of think Biden could get into that car? I don't think
Still talking big dookie on Biden. Big Brandon. Get Brandon's name out of your mouth, sir.
not allowed to use it. Can you believe it?
It's live now.
Very strong, heavy. It's all steel, stainless steel. But the cars themselves. So what is this one, Elon?
That's a Model Y.
That's a Model Y, so I have a lot of information, including the price.
Yeah.
I want to make a good deal here. You know, I do notice this. They have one, which is $35,000, which is pretty low.
Let this man do full self-driving, man. Come on, please. I have a lot of confidence in Teslas.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank the
I have a lot of confidence in Teslas. I really want Donald Trump to do a FSD. Just click on the FSD and drive away into the sunset, baby. See where it takes you. Come on.
Tesla
Come
stores.
on.
These are innocent people who've done nothing wrong. You know.
But nobody's been, I mean, it hasn't been, there's been some physical damage, a little damage, and we want to keep it that way because I don't want to say this, it's just not the appropriate, but law enforcement's out there watching everybody. We don't want this to happen. And not to somebody that's been so good to our country. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to go through this. And we can't let it happen. And aside from that, I happen to love the product. It's a lot nicer if you also happen to love the product. And he's done a really good job. Go ahead, Peter.
Is there, I guess this is for Elon Musk, is there a discount? President Trump wrote the art of the deal. Is there any kind of room for negotiating here?
Let me answer that. I know he'd give me a discount, but honestly, I don't want to ask for one. You know, I'm president, so I want to pay full price.
And what is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment. Uncertainty about work.
Who are you from?
Well,
Where are you?
Going to do great. I think our country had to do this. We had to go and do this.
Who's asking this question? I don't like you.
Countries have taken away our business. They've taken away our jobs. I did it initially very strongly against, as you know, China and some others in the first term. And it was a very successful term. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And then we had COVID, which we had to straighten out. So I didn't want to be doing anything with respect to other countries at that time. And we did a great job with it. We handed the stock market over. It was higher than it ever was. And think of that, higher than it ever was to that point before. And nobody thought that was even possible. We did a great job. But we had the greatest economy in history. This economy, in my opinion, is going to blow it away. But what I have to do is I have to get the workers back. I have to get the factories open. We have 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what you had just prior to NAFTA, which is not very long ago. 90,000, think of it, 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what it was. And it's just not right. So, and we gave it away. Presidents before me gave it away, and I could name every one of them. But they gave it away, and we're taking it back. We're taking our jobs back. And one of the things I'll say, by the way, speaking of Tesla, he manufactures more cars. I mean, he opened this incredible plant, one of the largest plants in the world, in Texas. Could you talk about that, Elon?
Yeah, it's worth noting that the Tesla cars have the most U.S. content of any cars on the market, so they're the most American made. We have the biggest factory and the most advanced automotive factory in Texas that we've opened and continue to expand. And so this is very much these are great products. The Model S is one best car ever.
Best car ever.
So all these cars have won incredible awards. So they're great cars and they're American made. And I think, try it. You'll like it. Yeah.
And I'm just saying, beyond the cars, they're great. But we have to celebrate somebody that has the courage to do this. He could have said, I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to get involved. Let the country go to hell. He didn't want to do that. And remember, he's going to find, and we're up to almost $500 billion worth of waste and fraud and abuse. $500 billion. We're giving $2 billion here, $2 billion there, not millions. It was a bet. If it was $1 million or $2 million, that's a lot of money. But we're talking about billions of dollars being given to defunct, scams, given to people with nothing. They have nothing going. They open up a subchapter S corporation, and they put $2 billion into it from nowhere. And we've caught a lot of them. I wish we could catch all of them, but we've caught a lot of them. And he's been largely responsible. So we have to celebrate him. And it's not that he's conservative. I don't even know if he's conservative. I will tell you this.
It's pretty funny to think that, like in the first Trump administration, people would talk about the Hatch Act, right?
But in the time I've known him,
people would talk about the Hatch Act and be like, "Oh, Trump is violating the Hatch Act." Like now it's just so that's the expectation. The expectation is just like, yeah, no, he's gonna do that, and there's not really much you can say.
From our standpoint, American cars, American made. He employs thousands of people. He's got, at the same time, he has the most modern plants in the world. I said, I don't like what's happened to you. I'm going to do it. I didn't even know he was going to come.
What do you mean?
He's never asked me for anything. He endorsed me, and he never asked me. I didn't even know he was going to endorse me. The guy has never asked me. He's not saying, in fact, I could go a step further. I ended the electric mandate. Okay, I ended the electric mandate, and I figured, when's this guy calling to
Why
raise
is he
hell with me?
laughing? Like, yeah, he ended it. It ruined me.
If I were him, I would have called.
So on that,
Because he's probably even better than I am.
Mr. President, is Elon Musk rubbing off on you? Is electric then the way to go?
It's not that I'm not. This isn't for electric or gas, because people have their choices.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I know people that have these cars. I know one man. We see him all the time.
Yeah.
He's constantly. He has 5 of them.
Yeah.
He thinks it's and he was a big guy for Ferraris and other things. And he says, man, it blows him away. I know other people, they have 3, 4, they love them. They love them. And some people like the gasoline, and they should have their options.
Right.
I'm all about options. But I'm telling you, I ended the electric mandate, and I was waiting for a call. I said, did Elon call yet? They said, no, sir. The next day, what about Elon? Did he call? He never even mentioned it to me, never complained. Until this moment, I'm just bringing it up. Who would do that?
Yeah.
He has never asked me for a thing. And he's built this great company, and he shouldn't be penalized because he's a patriot. He's an incredible patriot. And I don't even know if he's a Republican. I really don't.
Yes, sir. Yes, definitely.
Stock market dropped today.
Well, I'm not sure if he was. Well, you're going to have,
stock is also
drops, and markets are going to go up, and they're going to go down.
Yeah.
But you know what? We have to rebuild our country. Our country has been stripped of its jobs, of its factories. And I'm tired of seeing where they build apartments, cheap apartments in an old broken down. Tired of seeing where they build apartments, cheap apartments in an old broken down factory. But you have factories all over the place that are empty from many decades ago. And we're going to change it around. And it's all taxing policy. You know, it's really a policy because we have great workers, great people. It's really a policy of taxing and incentives. And I'm bringing the incentives back. And I'll tell you what, I want to mention specifically, but I'll mention this one. Numerous plants in Mexico and other places that were under construction or soon to be under construction are now coming here, and they've dropped that because it was unfair what was happening. Mexico, they were building cars.
Eurochatter asks, what is the Hatch Act? The Hatch Act of 1939 is an act to prevent pernicious political activities. It is a United States federal law that prohibits civil service employees in the executive branch of the federal government, except the president and vice president, from engaging in some forms of political activity. Basically, it's you're not allowed to do this, exactly this, which is for your own personal gain or for any other reasons to promote, like it's basically to stop Donald Trump or other presidents and other civil servants from doing exactly this, which is a QVC / hashtag ad for a specific product. Why? Why would that be? Why would that be something that? Why would that be something that the federal government would want to stop from happening? It's because they don't want someone to get $100 million in campaign contributions, and then with that $100 million, have the president do an ad when the stock prices are tanking for your company. It's because it's you have from the bully pulpit, you have awesome power and responsibility, and utilizing the bully pulpit to do an ad for one company after someone gave you money would be pure corruption. Pure corruption. That is what this is. This is the exact reason as to why they don't want this to, they wanted to stop this from happening.
Could have done it the easy way. I could have coasted.
It forbids the intimidation or bribery of voters and restricts political campaign activities by federal employees. It prohibits using any public funds designated for the relief of public works for electoral purposes. Forbids officials paid with federal funds from using promises of jobs, promotion, financial assistance, contracts, or any other benefits to coerce campaign contributions or political support.
Are doing an incredible job, but he left us a horrible situation. And we're changing it. But one of the things we're changing is we're going to make our country really wealthy again. We're going to bring our jobs back. Right now, we're like a chicken that's being plucked at from all over the world. We're not going to let that happen anymore. But very importantly, and I said it, Ukraine, ceasefire. Ukraine, ceasefire. Just agreed to a little while ago. Now we have to go to Russia and hopefully President Putin will agree to that also. And we can get this show on the road. We can get this horrible war where 2,000-3,000 soldiers a week, every week, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sometimes. I get the reports. And they're not American soldiers. They're Ukrainian and they're Russian. But people are being killed outside of that. People are being killed in the cities as things explode throughout the cities. And we want to get that war over with. So I think it's a very big, I think it's a big difference between the last visit you saw at the Oval Office and this. So that's a total ceasefire. Ukraine has agreed to it, and hopefully Russia will agree to it. We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wipe out a deal. But I think the ceasefire is very important. If we can get Russia to do it, that'll be great. If we can't, we just keep going on and people are going to get killed. Lots of people.
Is Zelensky invited back to the White House?
Sure, absolutely.
Mr. President, you mentioned the ups and downs in the stock market. You said it'll go up, it'll go down. But do you and your tariff policies right now bear any responsibility for the turmoil we're seeing this week?
Biden gave us a horrible economy. He gave us horrible inflation. And I think the market was going to go very, very bad. If anything, I have a lot of very smart people, friends of mine and great businessmen. They're now investing because of what I'm doing. Because long term, what I'm doing is making our country strong again.
I guess the exemptions given to the president and vice president in the Hatch Act is part of the reason why the media is not talking about this either. Because there are exemptions because the president and vice president have more power than the regular federal employees. So that's probably part of the reason why people don't even talk about it. But the other...
Major terrorists.
The other
why didn't he catch him?
The other reason is because no one gives a shit.
5 weeks into the presidency, I caught the man responsible for Abigate, and he's going to pay hell right now. He's a bad dude. He's a bad guy. But we didn't have these problems. I had no inflation. I had a great economy.
I mean, he did admit
He gave you high prices. You couldn't buy bacon. You couldn't buy anything. And also, I inherited a situation with eggs. The price of eggs was through the roof. Well, now the price of eggs has come down a lot. Interest rates have come down. Gasoline prices have come down. It's all coming down. It's all a beautiful thing. I can do it the right way, the wrong way. We're doing it the right way. And I have tremendous confidence in this country and the people of this country. Tremendous confidence, much more so than if I sat back for 4 years and had a good time in the Oval Office. I want to look at cars.
Trump's tariff flip-flopping isn't a bad strategy. It is this strategy. Chaos keeps markets, media, and the world leaders off balance, making him the center of attention. Doesn't care about policy, just controlling the narrative. He threatens them backs off to claim victory. No, I think it's that market volatility, that instability actually causes stock prices to go down so that they can engage in like some semblance of market consolidation at the lowest possible point that they can, only to rebound with stability, I guess. But that is the only logical conclusion, and that's kind of what Donald Trump was talking about right here, too. He's like, buy the dip when the market is down. But it doesn't make sense. It truly does not make sense. Because this level of instability is going to make it harder for people to have confidence in the market.
When's the last time you bought a new car?
Wow. Well, I buy a lot through my children because they run the company now. I used to buy a lot. I haven't bought a new car in a long time.
What was your first car?
The only thing I know is the Beast. I got a big car with very thick windows and thick side panels.
Is that going electric?
We buy a lot of cars. Actually, I bought this one for Kai.
Do you remember your first car?
The Ontario Premier calling you and giving you his decision about the electricity surcharge, and you said you were pleased about that. Will you make a different decision now about the tariffs on Canada? Will you reduce it?
At that, but probably so. Yeah, he was a gentleman. He was a gentleman. Look, I said it before. We give Canada $200 billion a year. We subsidize Canada between all of the things we give them and trade. We give them. We don't have to have cars made in Canada. We don't have to have lumber from Canada. We have tremendous lumber. We have tremendous trees. All I have to do is unfreeze them from some of the restrictions that were put on. I can do that with an executive order. We don't need energy. We have more energy than anybody else in the world. So we spend $200 billion a year subsidizing Canada. We don't have to do that. And frankly, the way that gets solved is Canada should honestly become our 51st state. We wouldn't have a northern border problem. We wouldn't have a tariff problem. They don't have much. They spend very little, as you know, the least of almost anybody on military. And we spend the most of anybody on military. We have a great military. I rebuilt the military during my first time. We're going to have to rebuild it a little bit again. Not that much, but we're going to have to rebuild it a little bit again. But Canada would be great as our cherished 51st state. You wouldn't have to worry about borders. You wouldn't have to worry about anything. And by the way, Canada is very highly taxed, and we're very low tax. We're considered a low tax nation because of me, because I cut the taxes so low. So the people of Canada would pay much less tax. It makes a lot of sense. And by the way, when you take away that artificial line that looks like it was done with a ruler, and that's what it was. Some guy sat there years ago and they said, "Rah." Well, when you take away that and you look at that beautiful formation of Canada and the United States, there is no place anywhere in the world that looks like that. It's so
Mr. President, any states on Greenland?
And then if you add Greenland, that's even.
I mean,
that's pretty good.
It's gonna look beautiful.
Okay? I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna make a decision. Do you want to hear what my decision?
Let's see it.
Okay. What's your best of these cars? What do you think?
Well, the car that I drive is the Model S Plaid.
Which is that one?
That red one in the middle.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2 seconds. So faster than a Ferrari.
That's pretty fast. I don't know if my people can handle this. They're gonna be using it more. I'm not allowed to use it.
That's fast.
That's a fast one.
Just to be clear,
That's
sir,
beautiful.
the 50%, is that going to go into effect on Canada or no?
Which one?
The 50% tariffs?
I'll let you know about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let
It's like, I'm doing an
I
ad.
appreciate
Shut up about
his
tariffs
call.
on Canada.
I thought it was nice. This is beautiful. Whoa! Should I get in?
Get it?
Okay. Let me get in
I'm
this
doing
second.
an ad.
On the Tesla?
Let
you want
me
my
do
notes?
my ad.
Yeah.
They gave me
Don't
notes or
worry
something.
about the tariffs
I'm
on
not biting, I don't
Canada.
need notes.
Yeah. I can check it.
Thank you.
Incredible.
Let me get into
Incredible,
this
sir.
I'll watch Secret Service go crazy. Thank you.
I mean, if you actually drove it around, it would
Oh,
really be
that's
wild.
beautiful. Wow.
I get into this other side.
That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow. Starting the engine. Now, is this just a brake?
Yeah, it's just a brake and an accelerator.
I don't want to.
You give Secret Service a heart attack.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Can you start it?
Should I? I'll start.
Oh, it's gonna get around the hole. So, do you want to actually drive it?
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
Yeah. Ethical reacts dictate that we must watch this ad, but if you want me to skip this ad, then subscribe for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime, and I will skip this hashtag ad that Donald Trump is doing for Tesla very clearly. You can also get gifted a sub, okay? If we start a hype train and get gifted enough subs, which you can, once again, subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime, okay? I will skip this hashtag ad. Throwing bagels at the wall. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
Mr. President, talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
The one-time Tesla cars are not, are not experiencing electrical failures is right here in this moment, you know? Cheeky Scarecrow, thank you for the 5 gifted. Stiff Magnetico, I think. Thank you for the 20 gifted sub. Hitbox, thank you for the 5 gifted.
That others are unable to do. When you do that, those people are going to go through a
If you
big
skip a
problem when we
Tesla
get-
ad,
we have
you're a
lot of-
terrorist. We're
we have a lot of
sending you to
cameras up.
Guantanamo
We already know
Bay.
who
It's
some of them
beautiful.
are. We're gonna
It's
catch
beautiful.
them. And they're
Cuba
bad
is a
guys.
beautiful
They're
place.
the same
Guantanamo
guys that
Bay.
screw around with
We
our
will
schools
send
and
you
our
there.
university
You're
garbage.
doubly going to
And we're gonna catch
Guantanamo
them.
Bay if you are also
You
hurting
look at Tesla,
Israel's
you do it at
feelings.
any
Don't hurt Israel's feelings
We're gonna
and
catch
don't
you,
skip
and
a
you're gonna-
Tesla
you're gonna go
ad.
through
You
hell.
will go to Guantanamo. We'll black bag you.
At the business roundtable, especially with
Well, I have a
regarding tariffs.
roundtable to make it a little while. I just consider this much more important because I want to buy one of these. My whole staff is so excited because I told them they're going to safely use them, and they can't believe it. So Margot, wherever you are, Margot, she's going to use it. They're all going to be using it, and they're going to have a good time using it. And If I can,
Do I think it's alarming that the vague definition of terrorism is now being applied to basically anything Trump feels is not good? Yes. I think it's probably not good that now Trump is considering vandalism against Teslas to be an act of domestic terror, hurting Israel's feelings to be an act of domestic terror. It's definitely not good.
Do you think there will be a recession?
I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said,
what else will he consider to be an act of terror? Maybe he'll say, if you don't like the tariffs, if you say my tariffs are ruining the stock market, that's an act of terror. You're going to jail.
Was right.
And what do you say to Americans?
If you look at what I've said over the last 10 years, Trump has been right all the time. This is the way to do it. We're going to make America great again. You know, to make it great, you have to have jobs, you have to have factories, you have to have. I look at some of the things that, like this last administration, he was the worst president in the history of our country. Nothing was happening. Nothing. He had no idea what was going on. Our country went to hell. And then to allow millions of people to...
What do you mean? Because he said so. That's it. That's it.
We're searching.
It's just whatever he says goes. That's it.
Going to do that. But on the financial end and the economic end, what we're doing is, to me, it's the most exciting. Our country will be greater than ever before, and it won't take too long.
And what's your message to Americans right now, sir, who are worried about the stock market? What's your message to them as they watch it?
The thing I was saying, the Cybertruck was...
Let's go see the Cybertruck. I did buy one of.
He's like, don't leave yet. You still haven't done the Cybertruck ad. That's what he said. He said, hey, get back here. He said, get back here. You haven't done the Cybertruck ad yet.
In terms of imagination, I think I have a great imagination. Who else but this guy would design this, and everybody on the road is looking at it? It's amazing, actually.
Not for good
as soon as I
reasons.
saw it, I said, that is the coolest design. It's. Do you agree with that, Brian? I mean,
I do.
It's amazing.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
You got to give him credit.
We want the future to look like the future, and it's kind of what kind of truck would Blade Runner drive? That was the design idea.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Elon, are you planning to remain CEO of Tesla while working with President Trump? Is there any thinking on your future at the company as we're talking about Tesla? I'm wondering where your thinking is with leading the company going forward.
Yeah, I'm CEO of Tesla, and
you should.
Yeah.
Any more plans of additional vehicles besides the ones you have now?
Well,
New models?
The Cybercab coming out next year.
The one with no steering wheel. Are you gonna buy one of those?
No, sir.
We'll pass. We're too old-fashioned.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Mr. President, when you look at the market selling off, that didn't concern you, and
Nope,
where do you see it
doesn't
going?
concern me. I think some people are going to make great deals by buying stocks and bonds and all the things they're buying. I think we're going to have an economy that's a real economy, not a fake economy. It was a fake economy. They were putting in all government jobs. You see what happened last month? We had more real jobs, and government jobs are way down. That's going to continue. Those are real jobs. Those are jobs that keep the country going. You can't have all government jobs. You have no income to pay the workers.
Yeah.
And a lot of those workers didn't show up to work. That was the other problem.
And President Trump, there's this protest leader from Columbia University that the administration is moving to deport. And he said that his arrest is going to be the first of many. How many?
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country. We ought to get them the hell out. I think that guy, we ought to get him. I heard his statements, too. They were plenty bad. And I think we ought to get him the hell out of the country. I watched him. I watched tapes. Specifically, I watched tapes. And you can have them, okay? You can have them. And you can have the rest of them. Let them go to school. Let them learn. Columbia used to be a good school. Now it's been overrun because of bad leadership. That's what happens. Happens to countries, and it happens to universities, and it happens to companies. And I don't want it to happen to a guy that did nothing wrong. He did everything right because he did a great company. But what he did by coming into government to help government from years of abuse, from decades of abuse, and you see that when you look at Social Security, where you have 200-year-old people on the rolls of society. That's just, he uses the word care. People don't care. Everyone knows that. But it's also, I believe it's also large fraud. I think it's that. But I think it's also large fraud. So I'm just telling people, this man is a great patriot, and you should cherish him. You should cherish him. You know, I have a little statement. We have to take care of our high IQ people because we don't have too many of them.
Mr. President,
and we got to take care of them.
And as you guys
will you
look at
talk
the
to
Social
President
Security
Putin
Administration, and you guys are looking for fraud and waste and abuse, can you guarantee people who are concerned about an interruption to benefits that there will not be?
Yes, we're going to be very careful with any interruption to benefits. In fact, only by tackling the waste and fraud in entitlements like Social Security, Medicare, can we actually preserve those programs for the future. Because with unchecked fraud and waste, we won't be able to afford them. The president's very dedicated to solving the budget deficit, which if we don't solve the budget deficit, we're going to go bankrupt as a country. If we go bankrupt as a country, there's no Social Security, there's no Medicare, there's no nothing. And to sort of echo what the president was saying, what really matters is moving people from jobs that are relatively low productivity in government to high productivity in the private sector, increasing the true output of products and services. That's the real economy. That's what actually enables Americans to have a higher standard of living, and that's what's happening. And that's, I think, you'll see the truth of that in the months to come.
And we're going to make it really much stronger by taking people that don't exist or taking people that shouldn't be there out, by taking illegal aliens that are on Social Security or Medicaid and Medicare. By taking them out, we're making it much stronger. The country will be much stronger, but it's going to really be stronger economically. And when you look at what we're doing, I've been called by so many companies. Yesterday, as you know, I had a meeting with some of the biggest tech companies in the world. And all they're talking about, IBM was there. We had a lot of them. Dell, Michael Dell was there. We had a lot of great companies, Hewlett Packard. And all they're talking about is investing in this country. They want to
I think a lot of people, a lot of CEOs are legitimately worried about speaking out of turn because they just don't want to draw the ire of the Trump administration, who has demonstrated its willingness to tank companies, hit him with like insane things that previous administrations wouldn't dare touch. Trump will do anti-capitalist things at the behest of his own narcissistic desires. He will go after companies. He'll do it. I mean, he's look at him just playing around with the stock market like this.
Markets we've ever had, and it's going to be really fueled by what we're doing. You had to see these companies yesterday. They're investing billions and trillions. They're investing trillions of dollars here. They wouldn't have invested 10 cents.
Mr. President, will you talk to Vladimir Putin about this ceasefire deal? Do you think you need to have a conversation with him to get the Russians to agree?
I'll talk to Vladimir Putin, yeah.
When will
I want
to
get, look, that's the other, it takes two to tango, as they say, right? So hopefully he'll also agree, and I really think that would be 75% of the way. The rest is getting it documented and, negotiating land positions, etc.
So you'll talk to him this week about the deal?
So, yeah.
So
and when do you anticipate meeting him in person?
In place on the Ukrainian side, how close do you think then you are to a total ceasefire with
I hope it'll be over the next few days. I'd like to see. I know we have a big meeting with Russia tomorrow.
I have a very special guest coming on the stream in a second, by the way.
The people have done a great job. Marco Rubio's been great. Steve Witkoff's been great. Michael Waltz. Every one of them, they've really stepped up. They are into it. They want to see two things. By far, number one is death of people that aren't citizens of our country, but they're people, just like you.
In
they're
person.
People. And we want to stop. And we also don't want to give billions and hundreds of billions of dollars away. We're $1 billion. And there was no reason this war would have never happened if I was president. So it's a very sad thing. Thank you all very much. I love Tesla.
Which one do you
I love Tesla.
The one I like is that one.
And how does this work?
And I want that same color.
Are you going to put down a credit card? Elon, would you take a personal check from the president?
I do it the old I give checks.
Sure.
I like checks.
I think his credit's good.
Do you still have access?
I like a check better than this modern system of all of a sudden there's money in your account. Nobody knows. I like signing a check. You sort of, but we're gonna pay, and I don't want a discount. He would give me a discount. But if I do a discount, they're going to say, "Oh, he got benefits." I don't want any discount.
Wait,
what about
a
vanity plate?
He got benefits. He already gave you $100 million in campaign contributions, and you're doing this as a benefit already. You're doing this because Tesla stocks are down. You're doing this because his association with you has caused a lot of people to go, "Oh, I'm reconsidering the purchase I made for this company that I thought was liberal when I made this purchase." And you're over here being like, no, I'm going to defend him. I'm going to claw back the stock prices. Tesla, selling Tesla stock is illegal. Not buying more Tesla stock is also illegal. We are doing everything we can to make it so that you have to buy a Tesla. Not buying a Tesla is also illegal.
Some people would say, well, let's use somebody that failed in business for his whole life. You know, this guy has been amazing. And the kind of thinking is from a different age. It's really from a different age. When we said, let's cut 2%, he said, let's cut 60%. And he turned out to be right. And a lot of people are just not here. They don't work for us. I mean, they're getting checks and they don't work. And you know, Peter, look, we have so many different stats and so many different figures. And it's so embarrassing to us as a country. No, we're going to have a streamlined country with good people. And one of the reasons, and I called for it wasn't a cabinet meeting, it was just a meeting of some cabinet members and Elon. The one thing, and I think he agrees with me 100%, it's one thing to cut, but we want to cut the wrong people, meaning we want to cut people that aren't doing the job. We want to keep the right people.
Absolutely.
And I said, I don't want to just say we're going to cut 50%. I want to cut the people that aren't doing the job, the people that aren't there, the people that are scamming the system. And he agrees with that 100%.
And are you sure you don't want to take a test drive?
I'd love to do it. Maybe I'll do it some other time.
Do you want Elon to keep working with you throughout your first term? I mean, is there going to be an end date for the two of you working together?
I don't know.
You
know, I was thinking about that the other day. I think he'll know when it's time.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't want to stay around.
He has up to 130
although
days,
I think he does like it. There's no place like the White House.
Elon,
Okay, so maybe.
Would you want to stay?
I don't think that. I think he wants to get the job done, get back to his businesses. That's what I think.
I just want to. I'll stay as long as it's useful and productive, and if I can help the country, I'll stay and do so.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
President Trump.
Thank you, President Trump.
Good-looking guy.
Elon.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
All right, just listening in there is President Trump buying a Tesla alongside Elon Musk. You see the Cybertruck, the red Tesla outside there of the White House in our nation's capital. That coming in just a little bit ago. Tape playback, if you will. And of course, plenty of questions about the economy today as the markets fluctuated due to those tariffs. We did hear that Canada will be pulling back on that 25% tariff against electricity and reiterating, calling this a period of transition, not ruling out a recession, but obviously saying that they had to go through some of these, saying the economy and the stock market does not concern him. Of course, a post here from Margot Martin there outside of the White House of this event as President Trump and Elon Musk, they hop in a Tesla. No test drive, though, for the president. And he says he doesn't really remember the last time he bought a car. He does through his company. He doesn't remember the last time his first car as well. So plenty to get to, an interesting site outside of the White House. Plenty to get to here on Live Now from Fox. We'll be back after this.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Stavi Baby in the building.
What's up, you little fuckers?
That's right. We have Stavros Halkias in the building, Stavi Baby. For those of you who don't know, he's a comedian.
That's right.
Okay. He's other than being a sex icon. And you missed it. Donald Trump did a fucking QVC ad for like the past hour.
What was he selling?
Teslas.
Teslas?
Yeah, because Tesla stocks, everyone's been drawing dicks on Teslas and like putting dog shit
You're
on
a fucking loser if you have a Tesla now.
Yeah.
That's what you get, pussies.
Which is why, and the Tesla stocks have been tanking. There's been like vandalism against Teslas all around the world too. So Donald Trump decided to save the Tesla stock by doing a straight up QVC. Dude. Look at this in front of like.
He was doing this.
Yeah, no, like literally. Look at this. The president of the United States of America is sitting in front of standing in front of three different Teslas, being like, "Wow, Teslas are so wonderful. Believe me."
The truck is not gay.
Yeah,
the Cybertruck does not look like shit.
I know. I originally said
You're
it was
cool
gay.
if you get it. I know. I said it was gay 2 years ago.
I said it was gay. I don't believe it's gay any longer. I love the Teslers. He also said Tesla, which is pretty awesome.
Respect, Tesla.
Yeah. This is
Elon's over there with his little hat.
This is the situation now. This is where we're at with the current administration. He also, I mean, we're gonna be talking about Mahmoud Khalil as well in a brief moment.
Free
but,
him.
Yeah. But that's the situation. We're using the American government for wonderful things. He also said you know, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but like he's been talking about these tariffs, saying that he's going to do tariffs, and then going back and saying he's not going to do tariffs. This was the funniest part, I think.
Oh hell, did he pop in?
He pops in. And he goes, "Wow, here."
He's so live.
Wow. That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer.
Everything's computer.
He didn't even. He's never even been in one.
No, he has. The last time he was in a Tesla was a Cybertruck because Aiden Ross had a Cybertruck with like the Trump's worst moment in his life, almost being assassinated on the side of it, and he was like, "Wow."
What's Aiden up to? He's been quiet recently.
Yeah, he's been trying to get back on Twitch. He's been trying to get unbanned. He's like, "Yeah, that was the old me when I had Nazis on my stream denying the Holocaust, and as a Jewish man agreeing with them."
Damn, dude, it sucks to be that fucking stupid.
Yeah.